most important.
I think that's the difference between, you know, the high-level football and low-level football.
Yeah, so last January, I was called up for Japan 04, but because of COVID, it got cancelled. So, and then again in February and March, but it got cancelled because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then in October, I got called up for Scotland 04.
Scotland?
And that got cancelled again. Scotland 04, yeah.
All right.
And then that got cancelled again as well. And then, in March, I think in Japan, they might have like a training camp in Europe. But once again, with COVID, I'm not too sure what's happening. But there's talks, but, you know, it's just quite frustrating because everything keeps getting cancelled with COVID. But
But then you have to choose which country, like Japan or Scotland.
So you have to choose when it's the senior team.
Oh, so you can play for...
With the youth. There's lots of players who've played in the youth.
Play for both youth teams, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah, like, Musiala Bayern. He always mixed Germany and England youth team. Okay. Until he decided to play for Germany's senior team. And then once you make a cap for the senior team, you can't change anymore.
Alright. That's a good information. Never knew.
I would choose Japan though.
Yeah.
I'd choose Japan over like England, Scotland, or yeah.
I hope we will play in the, you know, some Asian qualifying or something like that.
Well, I hope we play against each other.
Exactly.
Korea against Japan.
Big rivalry.
And then we have India.
Yeah, India as well. But India is never in the qualifying.
Yeah, India. They don't make it to the World Cup.
Yeah, because you know what their problem is?
What?
People like me can't play for them anyway. You need to be a complete Indian passport holder to play, so...
So you can't play for India?
I can't unless I want to give up my English passport and have a full full Indian nationality.
That's
what the problem is with Indian football. Is there are a lot of people like me who have a overseas... It's called an OCI, so it's an overseas citizenship of India. So I don't have a full Indian passport, but I was born there and my family is all there. But just because my passport isn't Indian, and there are a lot of players like me like that who then play abroad, who probably are higher level than the people in India. But because they just want people who have an Indian passport, their team's never going to be like their best potential. So hopefully they'll change the rule in India that they can get more players that live outside of India to actually play for them.
I think people need to obviously analyse, at least themselves, watch the pros, but, analyse yourself. Watch the pros first, see how they do it, and then watch your game, and then see how you could have done better.
Yeah, you can compare as well.
Simple stuff like body positioning, whether you're defending 1v1 or body positioning to receive a ball, making sure you scan more often, etc. Stuff like this, but you see that stuff if you do more and more analysis.
Yeah.
And it's the little things, like football, it's the little things,
little things. But little things make big thing, Like, if he couldn't move, if he didn't make the space for him, then he would not, make that killer pass or something like that. But that's a small move, but that can make difference.
Well, they say a lot in professional football, and like there's games that I've played as well, under 18s Blackburn, where we've lost or we've won because we've done the little things very well. Like we've won all the second balls. Every second ball that was a 50-50, we came out on top. And maybe if you're watching the game from the side, you don't really see that stuff.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, but
that's a good point.
You might not realise, they've won every 50-50. They come out on top with most of these, when the ball's loose in the middle, they come out on top. You don't really see that stuff. But those are things that are most important.
I think that's the difference between, the high-level football and low-level football. Because, the physical
100%.
ability is not so different, because if it's all about the physical ability, then Africa should be the best football league in the world, right? Like fastest and the strongest. But, like those small things, intelligence and stuff, I think that's what makes football different.
I think you see it, especially like with England, such a competitive country, so many leagues of good quality level.
Yeah.
And you see that at the end of the day, many people know how to pass a ball well, how to kick a ball well, how to shoot, how to dribble. A lot of people know how to do the skills right. But then it's those little things, and I think, like you were saying, it's completely true. What separates the Premier League guys is barring obviously the top ones who have just a different planet of technical ability. But it's all those little things, but just getting done right every time, consistently. And any goals you see, it's always like, oh, if he didn't do that one thing, that wouldn't have been a goal. That one little movement to get that space, he wouldn't have scored. So it's just those little things, but they work, and the big, like you say, little things, it makes the big results. And if you don't do those little things, you don't even give yourself a shot of getting a goal, or getting the, doing the things that.
Well, that could be the difference between winning the game and losing the game.
Of course.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's definitely.
Can I ask something to you, Cage?
Yep.
And I know I've spoken to you a little bit about this piece, but obviously we catch it more regularly. But have you ever fallen out of love with football? Was there any point where you thought, I hate football, I'm not enjoying this?
Yeah, like a lot of time, to be honest. Like really, really.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
That's the reality.
Even when I was in Moreland, I don't know if you guys understand, but I was like almost every day I was stressing myself about football. I was.
Well, if I'm being honest, we sensed it because you came. I remember when you came and you were extremely professional, like with your schedule and all this type of stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Obviously, you were very professional about it, which was very good. But I knew it was very difficult for you to keep that up.
Yeah,
it's very
that's
difficult.
true.
We know it ourselves. It's very difficult coming to a new country, settling in, without your friends from home, your family, and living by yourself. It's very hard to keep that stuff up. And when I first came to Moreland, I said some stuff that I wanted to do. I was even telling myself, I'm going to make sure on the weekends I go for runs, or I'm going to make sure I go out and train by myself, which I probably never did. Right from the start. But I know how difficult it is. So, there was like a lot of credit to you for, keeping it up. But I sensed it because it was very tough for a lot of people, especially at boarding school, when, like I was saying earlier, there wasn't much opportunity.
No.
You weren't playing a lot of 11-a-side football. There wasn't many school games. And the training was just, the sports school. And
exactly.
I tell it was very mentally tiring.
Each other's weight. It had to be balanced. Everyone would need to be on point. That's what it is like at Premier League level, obviously. Everyone needs to be on point because one or two people aren't. Those are the mistakes that get capitalized on, and you lose the match. So it's so important that, like with the team, that everyone has to know what they're doing and perform, because otherwise it doesn't matter how good you are, you just might not win that day for whatever those small factors that change the result.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you made 10 runs and then one time you didn't make because you're just completely exhausted, and that moment they scored a goal, and that's finished. That's it.
Exactly.